Hello, everyone. My name is Kelli Stewart, and I am a life and business coach. And I am here to talk to you guys a little bit today about the power, the healing power of grounding for yourself and for your kids. So, let's talk a little bit about grounding. So, you've probably heard of it by this point. Going outside, standing on the grass or the ground with bare feet, connecting with the earth, right? But I think a lot of us have not really understood the scientific power behind this. So, throughout the days in our current society, let's just talk about this for a minute. Well, actually, let's talk about our ancestors. Our ancestors lived outside in constant connection with the earth. There were no, rubber-soled shoes, concrete sidewalks, asphalt, insulation, all these man-made materials that have literally severed our connection with the earth, right? So they had a very deep relationship with the earth. And we have lost that over time, right? And what has happened is we have come to a place where we are surrounded by all kinds of toxic things, toxic energies, toxic chemicals, environments, all of these things, right? So we're walking around all day and we're absorbing all of this energy, the EMFs from our cell phones, the radiation that's in our environment, the currents from our electrical devices, negative energy from people that we're surrounded with, being constantly inundated with all of the things that are going on social media, in the newspaper, things that are going on at school, all of these experiences that are happening in our businesses, at work. We're constantly absorbing all of this energy, and some of it is good, and some of it helps us to be productive, and some of it is toxic, right? And we absorb it. We absorb it. We absorb it. And we don't have any way to release it. So what happens is this starts to build up inflammation within our bodies. So actually physically, it's scientifically proven that all of these things that we're constantly absorbing, our body's only way to manage it is to go on the defense, right? And it creates this inflammation and this sort of toxic environment within our bodies. Well, what has been scientifically proven is that when we do ground our bodies, when we put our feet on the ground, we are able to actually purge the energy out of our bodies and release it into the earth. It creates this open channel. And I'm going to talk really quickly about how. How is that? So we have this chakra system. You've probably heard of the chakras before. One that doesn't get enough play is sometimes called the 10th chakra. It's also known as the Earth Star chakra. And it is located about 1 foot to 4 feet below our feet, right? All of our chakras are connected by an energetic tether, for lack of a better word. So our root chakra is the last one connected to our bodies, right? So that one has a tether that goes down into the earth about 1 foot to 4 feet below our feet into the earth. And we have another energy center there called the Earth Star chakra. This is our direct connection into our Mother Earth. It's like an earth lung, right? It is where we breathe. We breathe in information and energy and frequency into our bodies. We breathe out energy, frequency, and information. We purge the energetic waste, we'll call it. We remove the waste from our bodies out through that chakra into the earth. It is also where we connect into the earth grid, and we absorb and take in information from the earth, from the universe, from the collective. So it's a very powerful, very important energy center that we don't talk about very often. So grounding is a way that we can directly connect. We can activate, we can heal ourselves by tapping into, nurturing, and nourishing that energy center. It allows all the rest of us to be clear, clean, and in balance, right? So it's extremely, extremely powerful. So one of the things that I suggest to all of my clients, whether they have children or not, is to create a daily practice of grounding. Getting outside, reconnecting with nature, removing anything that has severed that energetic tether, such as rubber-soled shoes, standing on man-made materials, finding a place in the grass, in the dirt, the soil, the sand, the rocks, in the water. The water is a great place to also ground yourself. So doing that, finding some kind of practice that you can do on a daily basis. And this is really important for kids, especially right now where we're at. We are all spending the majority of our time at home together in a space that we are not used to normally being on all the time, right? So we're all walking around with this extra energy with one another, and it can get extremely stressful, right? And we all have different ways of dealing with our stress, but when we can step back and look at the situation and see what's actually going on, and we have a powerful tool like this that is free, that is right outside our back door, we have the ability to diffuse the extra tension, the extra negative energy, the extra energy that's building that our big bodies and our little bodies can't handle, right? The bouncing off the walls, the fighting, the screaming, the yelling, the throwing, all the things that start to happen are happening because there is a ton of extra energy bouncing around inside our human bodies that we need to release. We need to release it. This is why so many of us growing up, our parents, they probably didn't even realize it, but they'd be like, go outside, go play outside, go run, go burn some steam, right? Go burn off the steam. That's what this is. Burning off the energy is actually purging the energetic waste that's creating inflammation, stress, anxiety, frustration, all of the things, right? On top of the stuff that we're having to deal with. This is one place that we have complete control. We have the ability, we have the power to significantly make changes by using this tool. So I have a ritual, I'll call it, that I like to use for myself, but especially for my kids. And this involves giving them a way to physically process and release some of this tension, some of this stressful situation, some of this confusion or anger or sadness, these things that our kids feel that they don't quite understand. And when they hear words like, just let it go, get over it, calm down, it doesn't make sense. Like, what does that mean? How do I do that? Like, how do I do that, right? Kids, I find, are able to integrate and and understand and process things a million times better if they're physically doing something with their bodies. So this is what I suggest, and this is what I do, and I love this. My daughter loves this. She'll go out and do it on her own now. But find some time to speak to one another. Dig in and see if you can help them like target what is it that's bothering them right now. How are they feeling? What is it that's creating this feeling? Where is this feeling coming from? Open up those lines of communication with each other, right? And then help them figure out where they are feeling that energy in their bodies. Are they feeling it in their chest? Do they feel it in their head, like their head's gonna explode? Is it in their arms and legs and they wanna like punch and hit things? Like, where is the energy? Just help them become aware of where that energy is holding in their bodies. Then you're gonna go outside. You're gonna have them find a rock. Just send them out to find a rock, like a handheld rock, not a giant boulder, or you're gonna have some serious work to do here. A small rock that they are going to then be able to bury, right? So you're going to find the rock. You're going to dig a little hole, right? So pay attention to the size of that rock because you may be digging for a while. Find a little spot, dig a hole. Then this is where the sort of ritual, the whole thing is part of, a ritual because it's a whole journey, a whole process of processing, right? Have them hold the rock. Close their eyes and take 3 deep breaths. And you do this too, because this is amazing for all of us. Then ask them to think about this situation or this feeling or thing that's bothering them. Ask them to bring it to the front of their mind. Think about it. And then ask them to remember where the feelings are showing up in their body. And have them go to that part of their body and pull that energy forward into their chest. So they're thinking about what it is, kind of right around the third eye area, and then they're pulling that energy in from wherever it is into their chest. Then have them imagine that energy as like a ball of light that's like spinning. And it may start small. And as they're feeding the energy into it, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And while they're doing this, they're taking deep breaths. And as soon as they feel like the energy is contained and they are ready to release it, you're going to have them take a deep breath in. And as they exhale, have them imagine the thought and that ball of feelings and emotions, energy, have them pull it through together and blow it out into the rock. So they're pulling that energy out through the breath into the rock. And have them do that as many times as they feel like they need to make sure that that is all out and in that rock. That strong, beautiful rock, right? Once they are finished with that, you're going to have them put it in the earth, cover it with soil or sand or rocks or whatever it is, right? And this is important. Have them place their hand on that area. And depending upon their age, it can be very simple, a very simple thank you, or it can be something a little more elaborate, but something along the lines of, thank you, Mother Earth, for supporting me, for taking this problem or thing, if they want to speak whatever it is, for taking this and turning it into something good. Like nutrients for the trees, water for the plants and animals. Thank you for taking this and turning it into something good. And that is it. So this is a very simple process that can actually set them up to have a very powerful tool that will help them through the rest of their lives. because it allows them to become very more aware of their feelings, of their thoughts, of their emotions. It'll give them a way of processing it. It gives them a way of then releasing it, all while remembering and knowing that there's nothing wrong with any of it, that it's all okay. That it isn't something that they need to push away. It's dark and dirty and they need to get rid of it and never feel about it or think about it again, right? It's an energy that they have now moved, and that is now in the earth, and now the earth is going to take it and do something beautiful and positive with it, right? That's a complete shift from the way many of us were raised, and maybe told to, maybe not told directly, but even shown to bury it within instead of burying it in the earth, right? Bury those emotions, suck it in, ignore them, put them away. Don't pay attention to them. Don't talk about them. Don't cry about it. Don't do anything, right? Just ignore it. It's a completely different way of dealing with stress and anxiety. And it all comes back to being deeply rooted and connected and grounded to the earth, our Mother Earth. So that is the message I wanted to share with you guys today. There's tons of information out there. There's tons of science out there if you want to go do some research about the actual power of grounding. I'll give you another example of what it can look like. So, we have power lines, right? And the power lines, we know it needs to be grounded, right? It needs to have some sort of grounding into the earth so that the energy isn't just moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and builds up so big that it just explodes and turns into a giant fire, right? If there's no place for that energy to go as it grows, as more energy gets fed in, the sun, the whatever is adding to it, there's no place to go. It explodes. This is what happens to us. We are bioelectrical beings. So when we have all this extra energy coming in, absorbing, consuming, and we don't have anywhere to release and let it go, we explode. We explode in our emotions. We explode internally with sickness, dis-ease, long-term issues, short-term issues. All kinds of things start to occur within our bodies, physical, energetic, emotional, spiritual bodies. It's all affected, right? So we have to pay very close attention. No matter what's going on, the very first thing is to get grounded. Purge that energy, right? That allows you to clear up the bandwidth and be able to now get even deeper into the root of why is this happening? But you can't get to the root of the why when there's all of that energy flying around. It's just chaotic and messy, right? So we need to clean up the space. We need to get some energy flow in there, remove the chaos, and create a calm space where you can see clearly exactly what's going on. So that's my message for you today. If you want to work with me, there's many different ways you can work with me. Like I said, I'm a life and business coach. I have one-on-one, I have courses and masterclasses that I offer. I also am part of a company that has this amazing frequency device that actually gives us a handheld tool where we can scan our bodies and see energetically where we are in balance, where we are out of balance. It scans our meridians, our chakras, It scans our auric field and creates a report that allows us to see where our specific body in this moment is in balance or out of balance. And then it actually has the ability to deliver the frequencies on a molecular level to help rebalance those things within our bodies that are out of balance. It is a very powerful healing tool. So we can do this when we go ground ourselves. We can do this on a very small scale, but this is like on a quantum level. If that is interesting to you, reach out to me. I have this tool available as well, and I am super, super excited about it. So that is it. My name is Kelli Stewart. You can find me on Facebook. Send me a friend request. It's Kelli L. Stewart on Facebook. If you want to email me, it's mystic, mystik, Kelli @gmail.com. I currently don't have a website. I just run off of the socials, off of the interwebs and emails. So reach out and get me if you have any questions or you want to find a way to work with me. I hope all is well. Go outside, get some sun on your skin, dig your hands and feet into the earth and get yourself reconnected, get yourself grounded, and have a beautiful day. Wherever you're at, wherever in the world you are, have a wonderful day.